everyone. Thank you for joining us today and watching our video from our new video from our In Conversation With series. Today I have here with me my colleague Annie Jarquin. How are you, Annie?
Hi, Sabrina. Good, thanks.
Annie has been in the industry for over a decade. I'm sure most of you already know her. And if you don't know her from the industry, you probably remember her from another video from In Conversations With, as the lady with the sustainable earrings. If you haven't seen that one, I highly recommend you to watch it. It was a really, really good one. So, Annie, the topic we want to touch upon today is how we capture future opportunities in the finished lubricant market when we all know that the volumetric growth is finite and it will decline in the longer time. So Annie, what is your perspective on this?
Yeah, thanks, Sabrina. Happy to be here chatting with you. For a very long time, our industry has been looking at volume as a measure of success. Volumetric growth has been, the primary KPI that a lot of companies are trying to grow and build on. As we all know, for some time now, volumetric growth is, as you say, finite. In some markets already declining. There is still some growth markets out there, but compared to some other industries, growth is pretty small. Mm-hmm. So how do we now as an industry capture opportunities, and are there still opportunities, right, is really what you're asking. And so what we do at Klein, and we know our customers need us to, is to look at the industry in a far more granular way. Mm-hmm. So we need to look at the volume demand by sector. So we have to look at the end use sectors and come back to where the opportunities are found. For example, we can break down like industrial lubricant volume into many different sectors within that, whether it's power, and even within power we have conventional power, wind, mining, agriculture, construction. So this is the level at which we need to find the opportunities for lubricants and where that growth is.
Great. What would be the main sectors that you think that have the higher potential for growth for the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, so again, we have to probably look at it country by country.
Okay.
If you take mining, for example, of course that there is, some countries are very strong in mining, and even within mining, again, you have to understand not just mining, but underground mining versus overground mining. Okay. Even the type of mines and the behaviours that they exhibit on that mine will determine the behaviours in their purchasing criteria around lubricants as well. For example, if you're looking for, you might have a mine that's producing sustainable copper to go into a Tesla. And Tesla might be saying that they need all their suppliers to be providing, sustainable products into that vehicle. So then you as a lubricant supplier need to be able to say, yes, we understand that, and we are also providing, let's say, a sustainable lubricant. That's a whole nother In Conversation With another video. So you need to be able to provide that value proposition to that mine as a lubricant supplier. And so that this is where some of the opportunities are lying within mining, for example. As I mentioned, within power, you have opportunities in subsectors such as captive power generation, whether it's on a sort of a wastewater treatment plant or biogas, power through biogas, wind, and other industries like cement, for example. The cement industry is one of the industries that has to decarbonize the most. So again, as a lubricant supplier, how are we helping? How are lubricant suppliers helping that cement industry decarbonize through opportunities there? So there's plenty of opportunity out there, despite sort of that top line decline or stagnation that we see at the overall level.
This is great news. Annie, it sounds like you are saying here that there are some value opportunities, right? My question is, how important it is for our clients to understand that some products may achieve a higher value for some sectors and regions and not do as well in others? Like, what is your perspective, and how important it is customization for higher profitability?
Yeah, as I touched on earlier, there are these value opportunities in, for example, it would be a value opportunity, the example in mining, when you're trying to provide that green lubricant to a mine. But not all industrial segments are homogeneous, not all industrial lubricants are homogeneous, and lubricant suppliers need to be customizing their offering to differently to each sectors, right? And we can see that through having to move away from just selling a per litre or per gallon offering, right? It's about providing that full service of value through whether it's testing, on-site testing, or other kind of support services, consignment stock, all of these other attributes that are becoming more important over and above the lubricant product itself. So this is really where we're seeing the shift, and it's so competitive out there. If you want to be in this business for the long term, you have to be able to move into this kind of services space, or take a position, or partner with people. We have seen some acquisitions by large companies over the last couple of years. Some of the major, multinational and large independents, where they are acquiring service companies to fulfill that need. Others are partnering, and if you're doing none of the above, then you really have to understand the long-term position you're taking in this industry moving forward, and how, and if you are choosing to stay, then you need to understand how you're going to continue to compete and continue to find value.
Okay, this is very interesting, Annie. So basically the client value proposition has changed.
Yes, I mean it's changed, but also, sorry to interrupt you, it's changed, but also you have to think about how to serve a power or a wind customer compared to a mining customer, compared to an agricultural customer, a construction customer. Okay. So all these customers, the value proposition has changed and evolved, and the needs of the end use sectors are really where you need to focus at that end use. So that's why, at Klein, we are now capturing and tracking that volume and value at that end use sector level, because that's the level of granularity of information that you need to be able to make decisions.
This is fantastic. But my question is this happening also for the consumer and commercial market segment, or do you see it just in the industrial market segment?
So it's a really interesting question. If we talk about commercial, then we're really talking about fleets. And again, if you look at that, on-road fleets by country, we can see different things playing out. Some of the bigger countries have these huge fleets, and again, they are looking for what role is the lubricant supplier taking with regard to services and that offering. On the consumer side, obviously we know that there's a whole nother sort of in conversation with Ceres around the electrification of passenger vehicles, right, and evolution of mobility. What we see quite a little bit of a different stance in consumer vehicles, where really it's this channel battle. Where is it the battle between how to activate that consumer? Is the consumer going to continue going to the franchise workshop? Are they going to go to a quick lube? Are they going to go to an independent workshop? And who do you, as a lubricant producer, who do you need to influence to make your lubricant be the one chosen? So again, I think in some markets the kind of the story is clear in terms of the decline in PCMO volume, but the battle is on, I think, in trying to capture volume and value within those different channels.
Well, this is quite interesting, Annie. Thank you. We have a material for a new conversation with video. I do have one question that's more related to sustainability, and I think a lot of our colleagues have this question. How do you see the role of bio-based stocks playing in the future? Yeah,
I mean, so if I take a sort of a slightly different stance on that question, which is just the evolution of base stocks generally, right? Because if you think about sustainability, we have bio-based stocks, you have re-refined base stocks, and and I think now the industry, we saw API release their view on how to do an LCA calculation, so we're getting more transparency in how to truly define and calculate how sustainable a particular base stock is, because not all bio is equal, or not all re-refined is equal, and also we still need to be able to sort of formulate the products needed by a client. So I think this is really this is really happening live as we speak, the winners and losers in this space. And I would say that, of course, bio, so coming back to your question about bio, there is obviously some clear value opportunities in bio, whether it's in sort of forestry, you know, any application where there's in an environmental situation where bio is needed, and therefore clear value for that product, and the form, you know, and the value is there, but also the cost is higher of the raw materials, of course.
Annie, I guess this sounds like a very great news for refiners. But I actually have a question. Are people prepared to pay more for a sustainable product? What is your opinion on it?
I would say right now, if you had to force a yes or no answer, then I think generally the answer would be no at the moment. But I think that's because, as I mentioned, it's been difficult to truly define how sustainable a product is, and even what a sustainable product is as well. So I think we're going to see that change. We are seeing, you know, some of the premium re-refiners, producing some high quality re-refined base oil that is becoming, you know, more, the differential between virgin pricing and their products is becoming less, and so it's showing the value people are prepared to pay for a re-refined base stock, high quality one. But I think with, as I say, this increased transparency around LCAs, more companies doing LCAs, the role of the ADCOs in LCAs means that we'll be able to have the data, and then once you have the data, then you can say, you know, then you can have the evidence to actually prove these points and claims, and that's when you can really command the value. So I don't think it's necessarily there yet, but certainly it's heading that way.
Okay, Annie, so what would be the three takeaways, the key three takeaways from today, in 30 seconds?
Okay, here we go. You have to find volume at a very granular level, no longer at the top level, end customer back. Move away from just looking at volume and look at value. How can you capture value through other offerings, services around that? And then 3 would be, keep tracking and understanding your position around sustainability, and understanding your end customer's view on sustainability, and how you are going to be future-proofed to provide a solution around that in the future.
Perfect. And if you don't know how to do it, come to us. We're going to teach you. Thank you very much, Annie, for taking your time today to share with us, with the industry peers, your knowledge and the perspective we have here at Klein. And I'm looking forward to seeing you for the next video that we're going to have for the In Conversations With. You gave me a couple of topics now.
There's plenty to discuss. We could talk for days. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. And we're looking forward to hearing your feedback if you like our content. Have a nice day.